Let's get more analysis of the situation. Let's bring in Pavlo Kukhta, who's former First Deputy Minister of the Economy of Ukraine from 2019 to 2020. Basically, Pavlo, working closely with President Volodymyr Zelensky at the start of his mandate. Pavlo, thank you very much for being with us here on France 24. We appreciate your time. Your reaction to the lack of progress in London first.
I would say it's frustrating, but to be expected. I mean, we do have to realize these are very, very complex and tough negotiations, right? I don't think anyone who knows anything about political negotiations seriously expected them to be some kind of easy walk. I think it's good that we actually got there, that we have some kind of proposal on the table, which, while frustrating for Ukrainians in particular, but for other sides as well, is something that can be worked with, right? I would point out that at this point, essentially what the essence, the idea of this proposal, what the Americans seem to be pushing for is kind of freezing the status quo, right? Because essentially recognizes the de facto situation on the ground and who controls what, who has what, right? The problem is, of course, that the expectations, the political expectations of nations, but also the expectations of the populations, which are a third, let's say, dimension of this whole thing, are vastly different from what the actual reality is. And it is a matter of very high political skill to bring these expectations in line with reality and kind of balance it all out. And that is the skill that is necessary to navigate negotiations. So,
Pavlo, when Donald Trump says if there's no deal, America will walk away or he will walk away, how do you interpret that? Because there are some who might say that this is Trump trying to somehow force a deal. And when he does that, he seems to be doing it with a better part of that deal going to Putin than to Zelensky.
You know, anyone who's been in tough business negotiations, and Trump has certainly been in quite tough business negotiations throughout his life, is prepared to play hardball at some point and very soft at another moment, to bluff. It's normal. I wouldn't over-interpret all these signals right now. What is clear to me and should be clear to any, sanguine, sane person is that the war has to be brought to an end. And there is no other way to end it rather than through a negotiated settlement. It's good that we have started going there, that it's finally been recognized at different leadership levels throughout the world that, okay, this has to end and this has to be negotiated away. What I see happening now is that we're still in the process of negotiations. It might take more time. We might see failures, right? We might see some backtracking. That is certainly possible, but I do believe that there is a high chance that, let's say this year, that the negotiations will be successfully conducted and we will actually see peace. And that would be a really big goal to achieve.
Ukraine says Crimea is a red line. Crimea will not be recognized as Russian territory. Do you think that that could be the thing that makes or breaks the deal, the fate of Crimea?
Possibly. We will see. We will see that. Again, I would remind you, factually, it's under Russian control. No one in Ukraine seriously expects us to be able to retake it quickly, right? Even if Ukraine does retake it at some point, this would require some major political changes in the balance of power in the region, probably in Russia itself, right? We are, again, factually speaking, everyone is on the same page. It's all about these perceptions and what we say we formally recognize or not recognize that is being discussed, right? In a very real sense, this is a very virtual discussion, the price of which are the lives of people who are getting killed every day in war, right? And at the same time, these perceptions matter so much, both on a political level and on the level, again, of Ukrainian population, Russian population, other people, that they will weigh in and they are slowing down negotiations and they're not allowing us to get to a peace settlement while being to an extent virtual, right? Because factually speaking, yeah, Russians are there, unfortunately. To kick them out would take more than, negotiations.
Pavlo Kukhta, we need to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for joining us and sharing your analysis of the situation with us here on France 24. We appreciate your time. Pavlo Kukhta, former First Deputy Minister of the Economy of Ukraine from 2019 to 2020, who worked closely at the time, of course, with President Volodymyr Zelensky. We, of course,